James Creedon with Media Watch on the other side of our studio. Good evening to you, sir.
Good evening, Mark.
Now then, we're starting with the cancellation of a burkini day at a water park near Marseille. Do explain.
Well, it's the kind of story that wouldn't have made the news in a lot of other countries in Europe, but in France, it's the fears of the Islamization of French society. It's a real hot-button issue in the aftermath of Islamist terror attacks. So it's an indication, really, the story of the tensions in French society right now, because in and of itself, it shouldn't create the sort of waves that it has created. Burqini pool party in France called off after death threats. So this made headlines last week when a private water park agreed to, I guess, privatise their facility for one day for an association that has for Muslim women, essentially, so that they could come in and of their own community with their children and all of that. But it was advised that for this particular occasion, the women would wear the sort of Islamic dress swimsuit. In any case, the decision has now been taken to cancel that particular day. This after the local mayor, it's a town near Marseille, said that he was going to seek the cancellation of the event, which he didn't have any authority to do, in fact, because there was nothing illegal about a private facility organising an event like this.
I'm not following. What's the actual complaint? What's the sort of the beef here, is it?
I think it's just fears of segregation.
That's what it's about, yeah?
Right.
It comes down to that. Because I don't see any problem in them having a bikini day or wearing bikinis in the pool.
And a lot of people would agree with you, and I think it took on such a kind of a public scale that it drew the attention to the broader issues of whether or not this is Islamophobia. A lot of people would say it is, or others saying, well, look, we need to put our foot down to ensure that France remains, you know, Republican values,
secular
centred
society, all that kind of stuff, which they bang the drum about very often.
Exactly. This is one reaction from a right-leaning politician who is rejoicing in the cancellation of this demonstration. He said there should be no place for this sort of thing in our republic.
But why? That's what I don't get. Why no place for it? I mean, it is obviously about political beliefs and political stances. That's what it's about, isn't it? But in a free society, and liberté is the first thing that the French talk about: liberté, égalité, fraternité, freedom, equality, and brotherhood.
I mean, I think in France...
Why not the liberty to wear a bikini in a pool? You know, it's
because of the fact, I suppose, this is my theory on it, because of the fact in secondary schools, or schools generally, you can't wear the simple Muslim veil.
And equally you can't wear a Christian necklace either,
any
can
religious
you? One of
signs.
those things.
And then in public spaces, you can't cover your face or wear the burqa or any of
the whole issue about
Muslim
the burqa,
clothing.
you can only see that. You know,
Indeed.
So,
So I think the fact that you do have rules in place that restrict the wearing of certain religious clothing can cloud issues at times. And for example, in this particular case, there is nothing illegal about burqinis, but in a climate of tensions and...
I think you've hit that on the head since the attack in Nice, since the attack in Rouen, which obviously has happened recently.
Right.
Clearly, it's a reaction to that. It must be, mustn't it?
Which is a little bit, I think, unpleasant to say the least. This comment here, I think, is worth pointing out. There were a lot of comments like this as well. This is a populist victory. It's a controversy that kills freedom, liberticide. Everybody has a right to happiness, and we're marginalising people with controversies such as this one. I think it is a case of sort of focusing on the wrong issue, really, in my personal opinion. Anyway, lots of different tweets going up, and people sharing images such as this one. This photo got quite a lot of shares on social media from the Olympics. It's an Egyptian competitor facing off with a German competitor, and nobody really was making any big issue about the fact that there were different cultural dresses there. This is an image.
Except one or two male feature writers who I think talked about the Islamic dress versus the bikini or something. The burqa versus the bikini.
I mightn't have seen all the comments.
And I saw a comment from a Muslim woman who quite rightly pointed out, why aren't they talking about two athletes against each other? You know, why focusing
Instead
on
of
that in a
focusing
sexist and almost Islamophobic way? You know?
Anyway, an issue that gets a lot more heated in France and elsewhere. Just as we're with the Olympics, there's this. This was another massive Twitter storm today. Sun Yang, the one-time caught for having taken illegal substances, Chinese swimmer, got into another war of words, if you like, with the French swimmer. This a day after the Australian swimmer, Mac Horton, called him a drug cheat. The French swimmer said that he peed purple. In any case, lots of angry Chinese Twitter and Weibo users decided to fight back and call him a loser. And anyway, very charged Olympic Games on social media.
Very charged Olympic Games on social media, and I'm sure that is set to continue. Camille Lacourt, the man who made those accusations about purple urine. James, we'll leave it there. Thank you very much indeed. James Creedon with Media Watch. Will with the Business, of course, thank you as well. And thank you for being with us, because without you, it isn't worthwhile. Stay with us, more to come.